Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am super excited for this video because we're going to be doing a full face of makeup products that deserve to go viral, products I wish were viral, I wish more people knew about and were talking about. A lot of products that go viral, they're not necessarily like the most amazing products that ever exist. I think it just depends on how they're marketed. I think it depends on who's speaking about them. But when I say that these deserve to go viral, I mean that they are top tier. We're talking good quality, functional, trendy. They've got it all going for them. So let's jump right on in. Let's start off with some skin prep. I'm going to be using the Adept Cosmetics Hello Sunshine Invisible Hydrating Serum Sunscreen. It says it's broad spectrum SPF 50. It's got 1% pro vitamin B5. Hyaluronic acid. It helps protect and prime the skin, which all sounds amazing, but the reason I'm really recommending this and I feel like it deserves to go viral is because it stands out from other sunscreens, other facial sunscreens. I feel like this actually feels like a primer. It feels hydrating on the skin. It does not feel like a sunscreen whatsoever. I'm sure someone out there is judging me hardcore for applying my sunscreen like that, but I do try to go in with a generous amount, but it just looks beautiful and glowy on the skin. It does not take a long time to blend in. It truly doesn't even have that typical sunscreen smell to it. And foundation looks beautiful on top of it. It definitely does not cause any issues once you start applying your makeup and your layers and everything like that. So highly, highly recommend. I feel grateful because I got this in PR and I don't know if it's something I would have picked up to try myself if I hadn't. But now I am such a big fan. When I finish it, I will definitely be repurchasing. For foundation, I'm going to be going in with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint, and I have the shade 2. I feel like recently I've been hearing more and more people talk about this, but I have been raving about it since it came out. I believe I purchased this on launch day, and it is truly the best skin tint I have ever tried. I feel like it adds such a beautiful look to the skin, and obviously it's going to be like a lighter coverage. I don't know if you can tell, but it gives a foundation look while still being lightweight and super skin-like and just beautiful, like just a natural finish. I highly, highly recommend getting a sample of this if you can, because it's hard to describe. Like, I have a lot of skin tints and in my opinion, they do seem to kind of do the same thing, but this one is just different. Also, the brush that I'm using is the Singe Beauty F01, which is just a really good, very precise foundation brush. And I am going to be using all of my Singe Beauty brushes in today's video. I feel like these brushes deserve so much more hype, but to tell you one specific brush where I'm like, this one deserves to go viral, I have to say the F02 is just above and beyond one of the best concealer brushes I've ever used. It just has that perfect amount of density. It's fluffy, like it blends seamlessly, but you also really can pack on the coverage of your concealer. I feel like with this brush, my concealer goes so far and it's just like super comfy to get right underneath the eyes. I truly, truly love it. Cannot recommend enough. I'm going to be going into the Rose Ink Concealer in the shade LX010. I've definitely talked to y'all about this concealer before. It has been a little bit, so I felt like I should pull it back out and remind you again that this is just such a beautiful satin finish concealer. I'm just going to go ahead and apply that pretty generously under my eyes and then anywhere else on my face where I just want to highlight a little bit or spot conceal. I feel like this concealer just has the most glowy finish. It just looks pretty on the skin. And if you love a glowy foundation or a satin foundation, I feel like this concealer pairs so beautifully with that look, while also giving you a decent amount of coverage, because I feel like there's so many concealers out there that yes, they will give you like that satiny, glowy look, but then I feel like my bags are just shining right through. It's just like, bam. I did not sleep enough, and you can tell even though I'm wearing a full face of makeup. I don't love that. That is a pet peeve for me. I don't love a concealer that just does not have enough coverage, and I feel like this is that perfect in between. Like, you can't tell me that doesn't look stunning. And then with this brush, I'm just going to tap very lightly over the areas where I need a little extra coverage. Don't push, don't pull, don't swipe. Just tap super gently and the coverage is there. So a powder that I have been loving, and I feel like this got a decent amount of hype, but I'm just gonna throw it in because I don't really have another powder to talk about. This is the Pat McGrath Lash Powder. Oh my God. The problem with these powders is that if you travel with them, they break. So I have the translucent one, and then I also have the pink one. It's just called Baby Pink, and they have both shattered on me. So I have to be very, very careful with it, but this is just a super, super light baby pink shade, and I love setting my face with this. Just using a Singe F04. I'm gonna use the majority of the product on my brush on the center of my face. Just kind of tapping in that area first, and then whatever's left over, I will kind of disperse evenly through the outskirts. So the funny thing about bronzer is that I was trying to do this full face of, you know, products that I feel like deserve more hype, and I realized that almost every bronzer I own is something that I was influenced to buy because it has gone viral and it's been spoken about so much. I'm definitely a little bit of a sheep when it comes to bronzer, but that's okay because I have so many bronzers I love. But I thought, you know, if there's one bronzer I own, and I don't even know if this is still available, I'm gonna have to hunt for it, but the Kevyn Aucoin Neo Bronzer in the shade Sunrise Light, I feel like this is one of the only ones that I own that I really don't hear people speaking about that often. This is definitely a very specific recommendation if you are super fair. If not, I can't really speak to the other colors in his line, but this is a beautiful kind of like taupey with a tiny hint of rose to it bronzer, and I feel like this just looks like such a natural bronze for my skin tone, and I kind of go back and forth. Sometimes I'm like, I don't care if it's natural. I'm okay with it being a little warm. Like, I want to look like a bronzy queen. But if I'm looking for just that like sunlit, bronzy from within kind of glow, then this is such a good one. I'm gonna apply that with the F03 from Singe, which is my favorite brush to use for bronzer because it is so precise, but it also blends out beautifully. I'm just gonna start applying that, and hopefully you guys can see that just like soft, natural tone. Because all my other favorite bronzers, it's like I love Fenty, I love Charlotte Tilbury, I love the Rare Beauty bronzers, and it's like everyone and their mama has talked about those. Do you see how good that looks? So moving on to blush. You guys know I love the pink blush trend, and I feel like there are some really beautiful pink blushes that have gone viral, mostly from Sephora. I would say the Dior Rosy Glow blush. This is definitely a very hyped one. And then also from Patrick Ta, we've got She's a Doll and Just Enough. I feel like these have been the vibes. So I wanted to recommend to you a few products that have a similar vibe, but they just haven't been spoken about as much. I've got two different face palettes here, and one of them is my collaboration with Adept Cosmetics. This is the AMYLOVES blush palette, and I know I'm throwing it in here, not the most humble thing that I've ever done, but I just feel like if you love pink blush, then this palette is giving you everything you could possibly need. I just love layering and ombreing and doing so many different combinations with this. I feel like if you were all about these blushes, you will absolutely love my blush palette. I went and grabbed my palette that I've already dug into because the other one's still in pretty pristine condition, but we've got Athena, which is the most beautiful, just like soft iridescent pink highlighter. We've got Aries, which is a little bit more of a mid-tone pink highlight, but this one has like a little bit more sparkles to it. Definitely really ups the glam of your look. We've got Mishka, which is the perfect cool tone pink blush. And then we've got Cupid, which is a beautiful watermelon red. It's just so cute. So there's some quick swatches. But I did also want to mention another blush palette, not my own, that I feel like gives the vibes as well. The Blend Bunny and Ellis Lunar Eclipse blush palette. I would recommend this if you love a super pigmented blush and you prefer matte blush as well. I feel like this is also giving those beautiful pink tones. We've got Eclipse, which is just a hot like Barbie pink. Crescent, just a beautiful mid-tone pink, and then Zero, which is a baby pink. So you can see those are super, super pigmented. I feel like my collaboration is a little bit more on the buildable side, so it definitely has personal preference, but here's what they look like next to one another. Cannot recommend enough. I'm gonna go into Mishka, just throwing that on my cheeks. You guys, the other day, someone commented, not on a video with this collaboration or anything, but they said, I just don't think pink blush looks good on you. And I was like, feels a little late for that. And then I'm also gonna grab a touch of Athena on that same brush, and I'm just gonna throw that on top to make it glowy. If you watch all of my videos, you've probably heard me talking about this product over and over and over again, but I am obsessed. The Precisely My Brow Wax from Benefit is such a good brow product. For one, the shade range is wonderful. I have the shade 2, but they have so many options. And if you're a natural redhead like me, you will actually be overwhelmed choosing a shade. I feel like with most brow ranges, I'm just having to choose the lesser evil. This also just adds so much fullness and color to your brows so easily, so fast. I do feel like this is a little bit of a splurge compared to other products I've used to do my brows in the past, but because of how quick and time saving it is, I feel like it's worth it. Nothing to see here, just priming my eyes with some NARS concealer. Definitely not an underhyped concealer. Oh, but I am going to be going into my Singe F02 again, which is also great for priming the lids and getting right into that inner corner, right under the brows, like so good. Choosing an eyeshadow palette for this video was so hard because I feel like there is an abundance of indie eyeshadow palettes that I wish would go viral, that I think deserve so much hype. The quality is just tenfold to whatever you can find at Sephora or Ulta. So I ended up going with a palette that's an indie brand, amazing quality, but also neutral in a way that I think your everyday Sephora Ulta consumer would see this and be like, that's beautiful, I need that, those are my tones. So that is going to be the Adept Cosmetics Flying Fiddles palette. This is a really beautiful neutral color story, but it does have a little pop of a little tiny bit of green, but I feel like because it is like rich greens, it does not seem as scary. You've also got so many beautiful neutral shimmers. If you love your neutral palettes from Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, then this is a similar vibe and I just recommend it so much. So we're gonna do a look with this today. And I do have a full swatch party video of this. I can link in the cards for you in case you want to see swatches of every single shade. But I mean, I can just show you really quick some swatches. Okay, it is beautiful. I'm going to use Sahara as my main matte shade today. I'm using a Singe E06 to just pop that in my outer V. Kind of just laying some product down, and then whatever's left over on the brush, I'm going to just blend towards my crease. And these mattes blend so beautifully. I'm also going to use a touch of that on an E07 from Singe and just connect to my lower lash line and line my lashes. I'm gonna grab a touch of Honey Splurge, which is a beautiful soft champagne gold, and just use that to highlight my inner corner. And then let's grab some of Viola Bronze and just pop that on the lid. But there you have it. It's a super simple, beautiful, neutral look. Stunning. And you know what? I just have to give a special little shout out to Sumerian Sunset because I wanted to mention her in this video, but then I was like, I feel like it's not as neutral, but I truly do feel like this is the most beautiful fall palette to ever exist, and it deserves infinite hype. The amount of multi-chromes in this, so much bang for your buck. I'm just gonna throw on the Lancome Teint Idole mascara, which I'm sure most people already know about. I'm not really featuring it in this video, but I do need to put mascara on, and I don't have a specific mascara to mention, so it's a really good one. It is, I love it. So for lippies, I have a few things I really want to mention. One is the So Juicy Plumping Lip Oils from ColourPop. And this is another example of something that I got in PR, which I probably would not have purchased myself, but I'm so glad I have because I love these. I feel like if you want a plumping gloss, but you hate that feeling that your lips are about to fall off, then these are definitely what I would recommend because they do plump, they do work, but they also are not painful. I don't care. Beauty is not pain to me. I don't want my lips to hurt. My favorite shades are It's a Date, which is a really beautiful soft nude. And then we also have Hits Diff, which is kind of like a little bit more like a rosy nude. They just look so beautiful on the lips and they're just my favorite plumping product I have ever tried. I also wanted to mention the Lisa Eldridge Balm Embrace, which I know I've already raved about these as favorites, but I just wanted to talk about them again. My favorite shade is Sweet Fig. There's 5 different shades and honestly, they're all beautiful. I have a full video here I can link for you with lip swatches. Here's what Sweet Fig looks like, but this is the most comfortable and long-term hydrating lip balm I have tried, or tinted lip balm, I should say. If you want your lips to truly feel hydrated, but you also want to wear a lip product, I feel like when I'm consistently using these, which my lips are kind of dry right now, so don't judge me too much, but when I'm keeping this in my purse and wearing it every single day, I noticeably see a difference in my lips because the ingredients in this are so good. Like, it's like deep moisture. It's not just, you know, apply this and your lips feel hydrated for an hour or two. It's like, this makes my lips truly feel repaired. Totally worth it to me. And then lastly, I wanted to mention the Bodyography Juicy Lip Oil. This is so good. This product is what inspired this video because I feel like I haven't heard anyone talking about this, and it smells good. It looks beautiful. It's super hydrating on the lips, and I know it has a pink tint to it, so you might think it's one of those like weird pH balance lip oils, which I know a lot of us don't like because they just turn like super cool tone pink on the lips. That is not the case. I don't know why it looks pink because on the lips it just looks like a clear gloss, but it is stunning. It is so, I'm just gonna show you, it is juicy. Like, the name is for a reason. Like, it is truly the perfect clear lip oil. It smells, I want to say like cherries or something. It smells so good. I truly feel like this is one of those products where people just don't know about it, and if more people did, it would blow up. I low-key just had to take a moment staring at my skin in the mirror because everything looks so good together. The finish is truly flawless, so I really hope you enjoyed getting to hear about all of the products that I feel like deserve to go viral. I will have everything listed in the description box, but I was curious to ask you, what is your favorite underrated, should be viral, like you feel like if you were a beauty influencer, you would be just yapping nonstop about? Please feel free to have a conversation with me, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.